up, everyone? Welcome back to Chat's Home. Today is a very, very, very special day because this band means the world to us. Honestly, they're kind of why Chat's Home started in the first place, because Robert and I met at one of their shows. They were the first episode we recorded. They're my favorite band, and they just released a brand new album called It's All Over. You could pick it up right here, this beautiful vinyl, and that band is Sad Part.
Yeah!
What's up, Sad Part?
Yeah!
I meant to say second favorite band. We all know my favorite band. It's Deathlands.
Fuck
Don't
do you
speak
mean?
that.
Yeah.
Tied for
Chad.
first.
Yeah.
All right. Tied for first.
This is my first question. First of all, this is being recorded before the album comes
What?
out.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's October.
It's
It's
October. It's October 15th. Oh, I love all those jack-o'-lanterns out.
It's getting spooky.
All right, so congrats on the album release. It's out in the world.
Yeah, huge hit.
Huge hit.
Everyone loved it.
I can't believe
So-
Beyonce talked about it
Dude,
too.
what I
already
can't
went
believe
gold.
is Jimmy Kimmel and Seth Meyers both asked us to be on the same night.
I know.
And we decided to be here instead doing this interview. Isn't that
Thanks, buddy.
crazy?
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, guys. So here's the thing. Here's my first question. I know that these songs have been pretty old. Like, there's like I Should videos of you guys playing in your backyard like years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're already writing new stuff, right? That's not on this album.
No.
But with the songs actually going out into the world, with people hearing it for the first time, is there like a renewed excitement for these songs, even though they have been kind of old to you guys?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But even like the once like the album was done and doing like I Should and piecing it all together, that was even like hearing that. I remember I was so over I Should like by that point, and then the album was done and we heard it like pieced, and when it like actually goes into it, I remember being with Sam and Grant and being like, it's sick now. Like I'm so into it again.
Yeah.
So like
Amazing.
yeah, everything's just.
I mean, it's cool. Also, like, because we had written so many of the songs and we were practicing them, before we recorded them, but we hadn't really played them live until like it's time for this album to come out, right? So even putting the songs
Which is
together,
out now.
Yeah,
And we are currently playing it.
currently playing them. But putting the songs together like live, at least for me, was interesting because it almost gives a second life to the songs as like a performer, because maybe you want to change something up a little bit from how you played it on the record, or in I Should case, like we have like a pretty significant change where we do something a little different live than we do on the album, and I think that keeps everything fresh too.
Yeah.
So, Sam?
Yeah, everything I feel like really does come in phases with writing. It's like you write the song,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, the song's over, I'm done with it. And it keeps going. Like you record it, it takes on a new meaning or a different sound. You really dial it in playing it live, it changes again.
Right,
And
right.
then I feel like now just waiting to play it live is like really the thing that like otherwise we'd be like, oh
Yeah.
my god,
You know what it
so
is?
done with
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
But that is like takes on like a whole new like excitement. I
Interesting.
think.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which we are currently doing.
Yeah,
we
we're
are
trying to
playing it
play it.
live right now.
You know what it's a lot like? It's kind of like when you hit in like a relationship or something.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it starts out, you're in that honeymoon phase. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the
And you're like,
cupcake
wow,
phase.
this song is awesome, and you love it. And after like 5 months, you're like, I don't know.
5 months? That's it? That's all you're giving a
That's a
relationship?
long
And then,
time,
and
dude.
what? Hey, man, you know how it is. And then enough time goes by, and then you develop like a deeper love and appreciation for the song. And then you get married to the song, and you have little babies with the song.
Yeah, we've been
That's actually-
married to In My Head for years,
years
now.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Trying
yeah.
to get divorced.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Delete it.
Yeah. It's a tax issue within my head, it keeps slogging along.
There's a custody battle.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
do the paperwork to. Just
Um,
kidding. We love you for listening to In My Head.
I want to talk about In My Head, but later.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I want to stick to the album. First of all, I'm gonna hold up this vinyl again to look at this beautiful artwork. Could you talk a little bit about the artwork, guys? What is the artwork?
There is
What
a story.
Yeah,
There
tell me
is
about
a
it.
story.
Yeah.
And
Graham.
Wow.
Graham.
There is. So, we. Are we allowed to talk that you're our manager? We're going to. Yeah,
Okay.
cool, sweet. The day that you became our manager, we played a show in West Covina, and on the way there, it was an art show, so people were selling art. And I don't know why, but I was like, ooh, I really hope that I find art that like speaks to me in this backyard, that we could make like our album cover or something. And it actually just so happens that one of the dudes that was taking photos of us and taking film, I walked up and he had this cool thing of like this car in a driveway, and I was like, that's gonna be the album cover. And then he was like, no dude, like he's like, that it's cool, but like I have a picture for you. And I was like, whoa, cool. He's confident about this. And he's like, he didn't even show it to me. He was just like, I'm just gonna text it to you, give me your number. And I did, and he texted it to me, and it was that. And I was like, wow, that's fucking awesome. And it really did. I really straight up was like, that's gonna be our album cover.
Wow.
And then I just wanted to add a little bit more meaning to it and kind of beauty to it. So we had our friend Megan, Poo Poo Faru on Instagram, she painted over the whole thing in like an oil painting and everything. It's beautiful.
No name, right?
Yeah, the person that No Name is about. It's all just an overarching story. The person that No Name's about, Megan, she's the person that painted that.
That's amazing.
So yeah,
Very cool. And the album title, It's All Over.
it's all over.
You want to talk a little bit about what that means? Why'd you guys title it It's All Over?
Oh,
I know there's a lot of meanings.
There's
and
a lot of meanings.
there are a
Yeah.
lot of meanings.
Yeah.
I just remember the phone call that you had with me.
Yeah, wait, that's actually a good question. When did
Yeah.
you guys know? Because was Graham the first one to think like, oh, I think it should be called It's All Over?
Yes.
It was part of a list of a few things that we had thrown out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the process went, I feel like, is it started with a few, and we kind of lived with it for a bit, and then we just kind of started calling it It's All Over, and then it just kind of stuck.
I remember it must have been like early shutdown. I don't remember that part. I think
We
it was
were having conversations along the way, but it was
Yeah.
like, it was part of a few that we were talking about for a long time.
Yes. I just remember it was early shutdown because I was at my parents' house. Because I'd moved back there. And you called me up and you were like, I want to call the album It's All Over. And I remember being like, we should put a period at the end of it.
Yeah. That was
you
a big
fought
debate.
hard for that period.
Yeah, dude.
You fought
'Cause
hard
I was
for that
like,
period.
It's like, it's all over, period.
No.
Hard.
And then
But
took
it wasn't
out.
all over,
Yeah.
so there's no period. You know?
How do you remember it, Sam?
I remember being like, there was a moment where we were like, it's going to be It's All Over, but it had like, I remember like thinking about this and like us trying to figure it out for a while, because we also had so much time and like making this
Yeah.
album took so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, it feels like so long ago, but that was like a big chunk of time, I think, like
Yeah.
where we were really
I-
trying to figure it out.
Definitely. Aiden, what do you think, buddy?
I wasn't there, but
Yeah, at
it's,
what point did you realize we were
Yeah,
going to call it
yeah.
It's All Over?
Graham was like, "Hey, here's the album," and it was
What was there any other names that you could remember that fell on the cutting room floor?
Well, I have a list in my phone that is all just band names, song names,
Yeah.
song titles, or that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Album names, music video ideas, like
Oh, nice.
everything.
Nice.
Merch ideas, like just everything. It's all
Nice.
just random shit for fake like fantasy hardcore bands that I'm starting and shit.
there we go.
But
Yeah.
one of them in there was It's All Over, and I remember being like, that's cool, but it kind of sounds too much like The Dream Is Over by Pup.
Yes.
And so we were like,
Oh.
that's a big deal. I don't want to do that. And actually, like, two of my homies that I ran it by, they were like, kind of sounds like The Dream Is Over. And I was like, no, it's All Over. But I just remembered fucking loving it and
Yeah.
thinking it was
Yeah.
sick. And even though there was like that, I still called Sam and Grant and was like, we need to call it It's All Over.
Yeah, rad.
And we did.
And the title track, which is the album closer, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
the
And
Come
'cause the-
on, it's
'cause-
out.
Hey!
You've heard
'Cause the-
it.
'cause
It's been
the-
out for a
Yeah,
month.
and did you notice?
like a week?
Has it been
Did,
out for
did
a
you
week?
did you notice this last song on the album? Album's All Over. Think about that.
That's
huh,
right.
Chad?
That's right.
You ever put those pieces together, buddy?
And you know
Weren't we gonna-
what? First
there
of
was
all,
a joke about making it like It's All Over question mark or something like
Yeah.
that.
but Robert actually pointed this out on the CD. It's All Over plays the last
Yeah.
song, and then it restarts the first song, and it's Are You Still Listening to Me?
Unintentional, but equally as sweet.
Yeah. That's
I
kinda
know.
cool.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
similar moment.
No,
one
that was
time.
all. That was all planned.
Pretty hard.
That was
Yeah.
all-
Well, Aiden,
That was all. That was all
Yeah,
Aiden's.
that was-
That
Well,
was
that-
Aiden's idea.
Yeah, that was I loved that because that was one of the first times because we haven't released anything since like 2018, And Awake was like one of the middle, kind of last-ish tracks that we were writing for the rest of this album.
Okay.
Maybe middle.
It was the last of like the first chunk of
Yes,
tracks.
yes. But I remember when we were doing lyrics, it was the only time that I was like, this is the first thing that people are going to hear after a long
Yeah.
time of us not releasing music.
Yeah.
And I just want it to be like fucking something that is literally speaking to the person that is listening to it.
Yeah.
I remember this because I was like, almost as a joke, I was like, we should call the first track Awake
That's how it became a thing.
because I was like, the last album was called Sleep. It's the first track off of that.
It was a joke. Grant was like, "Let's call it Awake," and I was like, "Ha ha ha!" And then
Yeah.
I was like, "That's a great idea.
Yeah.
We're call it Awake, and it can just have some sort of like
And-
meaning behind just like how, because all of Sleep was a fucking bender.
Yeah.
All of Sleep for like 2 straight months every day was everyone getting fucked up, showing up to my garage, writing music, and then it just came out. And so like this album was the first time of us like straight up just being like, let's focus on what we're doing. Let's actually try and craft a song instead of just being like, we wrote Goodnight in a day and that's it and we're not going to
Yeah.
change it.
Right.
Yeah, and there's
Right.
not enough. I don't play the groove enough on the recording. I think I play it one time through before the drums, the
Yeah.
guitars come in.
So
Yep.
it was just a meaning of like a little bit
What are you
more
gonna do?
focused.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got
Good.
it. Well, Awake is. I always go back and forth between my favorite songs on the
best
album,
song on
but
the
Awake
album.
is so good. And I remember, I think you texted me it, and it was like right when the lockdown started happening, and I was having like the worst go at things in my personal life, and it was just like, I don't know if I was, I don't know what I'm necessarily trying to say, but it was such a heavy like thing that got me through a few just like walks
Yeah.
around town.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is an insanely special band outside of just like
I believe
LA punk. Like this puts you guys
Don't.
on such a different level. Like I was listening to big ass bands that were like, and people, you know, they listen to your songs and it helps them through rough times. And it's like
Yeah.
when you achieve that, you're no longer like just this little indie band that nobody cares about. You know what I
Well-
mean?
well,
it's
thank
it's
you.
pretty
Thank you.
epic.
you
Chad.
you
Yeah.
were. I was trying to make a joke, and you just kept getting more and more like real, and it really, on one hand,
I'm still going to go for it.
means a lot. You know, like that was that. You know, thank you so much.
Of course.
On the other hand, maybe let me make that joke next time. You know.
What was the joke?
Maybe cut it
I
off.
was just gonna say, I think the word you're thinking of is thank you.
So ridiculous. But yeah, I remember just listening to that and showing Monica, and we were both just like, this band's insane. Like this is
I mean,
it's
that
great.
was like, for me, that is the song that I'm like, I think when we play, because we play it, you know, as like our opener, because it's you know, we
Yeah.
always sound good on it, but it also like it just hits you so hard.
Yeah.
And that is like, I think that's probably my favorite song on the album.
I think it's mine too, for sure. It's just like, it's unlike any of the other songs on the album in its own way.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a goddamn roller coaster. I don't even know how.
Goddamn Ripperoonie, dude, is what it is.
That song was the beginning of like, I don't know, just like a whole different level of being able to write different music, and
Yeah.
that was the middle, because after we wrote that, we wrote the entire
The
like
back half of the album,
which
Oh,
is
wow.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Because the first half of the album is all the stuff that we wrote.
It's like
kind
yeah,
of
mostly some
right
stuff,
after
yeah.
we really
Sleep
feel
had
like
just come out.
the back
Got it.
half is truly speaks to like what music
Don't
of
even
it,
li-
like
if you
it's
get the
all over
vinyl-
sounds like.
Yeah.
Just listen to side B.
Side
Don't
A.
even listen to
But
side
Awake's,
A.
but
has-
Awake's on side A.
Side
We're
A
gonna
has
scratch
Awake.
all the side A's.
Side A
out.
has
except for Awake.
You Will Fade for Me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a banger.
Nothing
What if I just
Nothing
listed
Ever is
all
a
the
banger.
songs?
They're all
Nothing Ever's
bangers.
an old single that came out in August, and
So
we're in
long ago.
October
Yeah,
already.
it's trash.
Nothing Ever's old.
Stop listening to our old music.
The moment it hit 100,000
Aaron
listens,
is gonna hear this and be like, God damn it.
don't
Shout out
listen to
shout
our
out
band.
to Lauren Records.
Yeah, shout out to Lauren
Thank you,
Records.
Lauren
Shout out Lauren
Records.
Records.
We'll get into that too,
Lauren
but
Records sticker.
but I wanna stay on this.
Yes.
It's All Over.
Yes.
Because that's the closing track, and that's also another beautiful track that I love to listen to on walking around neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
But that song I know is deeply personal to you, Graham, and is probably your favorite song on the album, right?
Yeah.
And just I want to go on record right now and say that I want to finance and pay to do like some live set where you guys bring in like horns and stuff and like do the actual thing live like in a studio.
Well,
because when I
yeah, I was gonna say you missed our album release show because what's gonna happen?
It already happened.
Yeah, Chad.
Because like when I saw that song live at the Haven like
Yeah.
months ago,
It's so long
So
ago.
it's such a
Like
long
2 weeks
time
ago.
ago.
Yes.
Lifetime
just
ago.
feels like
that's when it really clicked. Was when you guys were both singing Sam and Graham. Like
Yeah.
back
I
and
remember you
forth.
telling me that
Yeah, and
that
I was
night.
like, "Holy shit, this is
Yeah.
special." So yeah, I want that song's got to be like, I don't know, we got to do like some crazy live session with
yeah.
that song.
Yeah, I
But,
like that song a lot.
3 horns.
Shout out
Full
Carl
stop section.
Engstrom.
Yeah, Carl
Yeah.
Engstrom. Carl Engstrom. I think he's working at Universal Studios in Orlando right
In
now.
October?
In October, still, because he's doing Halloween Horror Nights.
Got it.
Yeah.
Legit horn player.
Yeah.
Dope
Great.
horn player. Knew him from my time at Cal State Northridge. He's amazing. Kind of came in. I like had stuff written down because I like transcribed the melody and arranged some stuff. And then he did one pass through like that. And then on the very last chord progression, we were like, Carl, just fucking go for it. buddy."
Nice.
Yeah.
And I think one round of notes, we were like, oh, let's actually like hit this note up top.
And just
And I think it was like 2 takes. And it was just
Damn,
like,
that's
ripping.
cool.
It was awesome. He's the best.
Oh, were you gonna say something?
No.
Okay.
It was killer, and it was super in the moment, like those like high notes
Yeah.
that come in at the end. Whereas
Yeah.
like we were just like, Carl, like this is your
Just go for
your
it.
freestyle,
Time to
like
shine,
just
dude.
fucking
Yeah.
Hit that
lay into it.
blastissimo, baby.
Yeah.
And he just did that, like I said, like granted written down music, and like we knew the melody he wanted to do for the part that's just chanting at the end, but we did. It literally was just like we did one of him going through it, like gave him a note, like I like you hitting just this note, like walking up, and he was like, okay, did it again, and that was it. And we didn't even know what he was gonna do,
Clean.
but it was just
That's
awesome.
awesome.
It was
recording's
perfect.
so much easier when you have professionals
Yeah.
actually doing it.
Yeah,
2
seriously.
takes and he's like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
off to work.
Out the
Yeah.
door.
Easy peasy.
Let's talk about that, but with It's All Over.
Back to
I just want to hear it. I just want to hear it because you articulate it very well. I think what that song means and like the lyric run at the end of like, you're all right, you're all right, you're all right. And that has in it like what the whole album is kind of about, right? Like a through line of the album.
Yeah, I wanted the album to be connected in like some sort of way. When we started the album, I wanted the album to be about me at like almost my most unhealthiest state and then getting like better and better and better and better. And during that time I was like going to therapy and all this stuff. And then it didn't end up being about that because I had a lot of shit I had to sing about. And it all kind of worked out because the ending of like It's All Over, the whole thing that I like the message to be about, not that like, oh, you're better, it's done and you're good now.
Right.
And like life's easy now. You hit like 30, all your problems are solved, nothing to worry about.
Right.
It's fucking smooth sailing from
Right.
there, baby.
Yeah.
Because it's not. Because no matter what, like even in my short life, like fucking shit happens and it sucks and you think it's the worst thing to ever happen to you, and then suddenly all the fucking sudden you don't even realize it, you're over that thing. But then another thing happens and you're like, this is the worst thing ever, I'm never gonna fucking get over this, I totaled my fucking car, how am I
Yeah.
gonna get over this? But then you fucking buy a new car eventually and life's great, and then another thing happens, and essentially I'm just trying to say that like, don't go through life trying to reach this point of like perfection
Yeah.
and this health that you can reach of just being great and everything will be fine.
Right.
Because then otherwise you're just gonna go through your life thinking you're not worthy of anything because
Yeah.
things keep fucking up. And you're all right. Everything's good. You're gonna be fine. Shit happens. You're gonna be fucking fine. Look at all the other shit you thought you'd never get past, and you did. You're
Yeah.
alive. You're good. You're all right.
I love it.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. Just a round of applause. real quick.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Mental health, baby. Oh.
Yeah, I love the way that you articulate that
Yeah.
because that's so true and that's such a good message. That's like,
Sad Park, we're a bunch of big mental health nuts in this band, you know?
We're big mental health nuts.
But that's like, because I feel like that's something that people struggle with, because they're like, man, like why aren't I at the stage where just everything's fine?
Yeah.
Like working towards happiness as a conclusion, I guess,
Yep.
is like such a
Yes.
hard thing,
Yeah.
instead of working as it as like a long road that's like always gonna be happening. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So that's beautiful. Thank you for that.
Thanks. I've been
Um,
trying to share that one forever.
It's beautiful.
I'm rehearsing that outside before we came in. I'm just gonna say.
You're all right. No, I shouldn't say it like that.
Mental health woo? No.
Too high. Too
Nailed
high.
it. Nailed it, buddy. Nailed it.
Hi, we're Sad Park, and we're back at Chad's home, and the song's called You Will Fade From Me. You only say you love me when you're fucked up, and I heard every word you said, those things when you could never be. Oh, 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 you only call me when you drive drunk. Now I'm pacing back and forth in my room, hoping you're okay. Oh, 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 oh. And now you're falling asleep in someone else's bedroom. I wish you let me drive you home. And now it's gone. And now it's gone. And now it's gone. And now it's I wanna be the one for you. You keep saying you'll just hurt me. You should be alone. Oh, 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 I'm not the man I thought I'd be. Wanna work on myself, make you happy, make you so damn proud. Oh, 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 oh. And now you're falling asleep in someone else's bedroom. I wish you let me drive you home. And now it's gone. And now it's gone. And now it's gone.
Let's talk about the recording process, because you recorded at Conway.
So ready
Tell-
to get into this.
Yeah, let's
First of
do
all,
it.
tell me the most frustrating song to record.
All of the drums.
Well, why don't we go through what was like each of it? You're gonna be easy. You probably didn't have anything. Aiden, you
Yeah, I recorded pretty quick.
and you start. What was the hardest thing for you?
Yeah,
The
Aiden.
whole album is just fucking
it's rough.
a nightmare, dude.
Yeah.
What was
Doing
the
all the
hardest
vocals.
song?
All the vocals.
Dude, because I don't know. I don't like have a hardest song. Because I did.
Like to get to sound right, like when we were listening to it, and we were just like, "Fuck."
I mean, like the post process on a lot of the songs was rough trying to get it to sound exactly how we wanted it to.
Yeah.
But I don't remember like the actual recording at least for me, because I did all the drums and like I did 6 songs one day and then 6 songs another day, like 6 months later. So it's all kind of a blur.
Oh my
I
god!
remember the second day being better than the first day.
Wait, you only did 2 days of drums?
Yeah.
Yes.
On
And
the
they
entire
were like
album?
6 months
Yes.
apart.
Yeah.
What?
July 5th, 2019 and December 27th.
So there you go,
2019.
everybody.
Yes.
And
Oh,
how many,
yeah.
how many mistakes did you make?
11.
This is
Yeah,
actually a
ask
fun
Grant
fact.
how many times he
fact,
messed
let's
up on
bring
the
it up.
album.
Let's
Hey,
bring
yo,
it up.
I'm about to ruin one of the songs for you.
No. Chad,
I'm kidding.
What's the fun fact?
I'm kidding.
Oh, fun fact that he kept 11. He kept 11. 11 mistakes, right? Like he wrote
Yeah,
down.
I have a
11
note because I'm a crazy person. I have a notes app on my computer with all the mistakes and the timestamps of where they are. You know, like, oh, I should have done a hi-hat at the beginning of this fill. Or like, ooh, this snare hit came in late. You know?
Don't tell us which one.
I was joking. I'm not going to actually do that. I don't think anyone will hear it except me because I would always be like, guys, this snare hit, it's driving me
Right.
insane. And you guys would be like,
What? So how many days did
That's
you
fine.
guys record? Like,
That was
I
a
don't know.
lot different.
Okay.
Because drums are like such a process to set up, and
Yeah.
like doing it at Conway was like
Yeah.
we had the time we were gonna get. It required a lot of setup in advance that we had to like when we were there. Just like we had goals, like we're gonna finish these 6
marathon.
songs, and then we're gonna get in someday in the future and do the other 6.
Yeah.
Mm.
That ended up being 6
6
months later.
But we needed to finish the
That's
other songs,
crazy.
so-
We did, so it was all good. But yeah, it was a big spread.
And it's just a marathon. Like, you're just like,
Yeah,
all right, we're
12-hour
here.
days.
We go
Like,
until
let's
we're
go.
finished. Yeah. Everything else was more
God.
relaxed for you guys.
and you guys did? Do you do vocals?
Shit.
Do you do, yeah. Wait. What wasn't relaxed? What was?
Vocals.
Okay.
Vocals
rough.
fucking sucked.
Really?
What would it be if? It is October. I haven't smoked cigarettes in like a year and 5 months now. But yeah, I was smoking a lot while we were recording.
Because you were just stressed.
Because
or
I'm
what?
smart. Because I was like, I'm a man that smokes, and I'm gonna continue to smoke, and that's gonna be my vocal takes, like a dingus.
Yes, but I remember you and me when we recorded Stuck. The vocals for Stuck was like the last vocals we recorded. I don't know if you remember this.
I do
remember
remember
Stuck?
this.
That was a gnarly. What?
You said you and me.
Sam and I. You were recording. Me and Sam were in like the control
Got it,
booth.
got it,
we
got
thought
it,
we were
got it,
gonna
got it.
stop for the day.
We thought we were gonna stop for the day, and you were like, "Let's just do it." And that is why
I
that
did like 3 songs that day.
you did a lot. That was like a gnarly day, and that vocal take for Stuck is just like gnarly.
Yeah.
The
like
beginning
we thought
of
we
Stuck
seriously thought we were done. Graham had been singing like all day,
for like 6 hours,
and it was like, let's do one more. And I just remember it was just like
Just
you could
hit
see it in
it.
Graham's eyes. He was just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing
You're
this
just
right now.
going. It
And
was
it's it's like the most like,
gnarly. It's
yeah,
so
like
good.
aggressive
Yeah.
vocals really on the
Yeah.
whole album,
Yeah, they're gnarly.
pretty much.
Just
And
cigarettes and 6 hours.
Graham
of
just
screaming.
laid in. It was like a couple takes,
Yeah.
and that was it.
It was
like it was
awesome.
quick. We were
Stuck
just
and,
like,
and nothing
fuck.
ever was tough too, right? Or no?
Nothing ever was tough. Nothing ever is a lot of high notes.
Yeah.
And once again, I was smoking. My range wasn't that good. So
Yeah.
it was just a struggle.
Yeah.
But nothing ever. The vocals were recorded when we stopped going to Conway because of COVID and everything. So we made
Oh.
a makeshift recording studio and a vocal booth that was 3 pieces of drywall that were like that and that as a box covered in blankets. Just as many fucking blankets as we could get, we covered it. And so it would be 100 degrees in the garage.
Oh my god.
Everyone's sweating. And the inside of this fucking death box was 100 and
it was dark.
like 8 or some
was
shit.
dark.
Yeah, it
There
was
was no
crazy.
light.
Oh, it was completely dark. It was like a what is it? Like a sensory deprivation
Yeah,
thing.
pretty much.
You straight up got no light, 0, nothing.
Jeez.
You couldn't see a crack or anything. And so I'm recording vocals, screaming my fucking heart out, still smoking, and I'm in just like 105-degree box.
Oh my god.
And just hoping that I get the fuck out as soon as possible. It's the
It was fucking brutal, man.
That was like the most gnarly days because like you can't help but just be fucking angry that
Yeah.
you're in a box and I'm like, all right, that was good, let's leave, and they're like, do another, stay in there, and I'm like, okay, and then I do it and I'm like, that was good, and then Sam and Ben are outside and they're like, do another. I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
Damn.
crazy.
Okay. So they were all like split up pretty.
Yeah, well,
Like,
'cause,
did you
like,
record guitars and bass different days? or,
Half
like,
the album was like done, not like half like split, but like about half of the stuff that we needed to record was like. So we did it in the garage. Like we did a lot of
Yeah.
guitars and some vocals.
bells and
We did all the.
shaker.
That's funny because it was. And I was living with my parents and my dad. Big shout out to Barry Bubar, big worrier, you know. And so I roll up with like the N95 on
Yeah.
and like the gloves. And I was injured at
Yeah.
the time. I had that nerve thing. And I'm just like, here we go. And I'm just there's a photo of me wearing the mask and just like playing bells
In
this
that
pitch
very
black-
box.
in the box.
in the
Yeah.
box.
We probably did like half the guitars at Conway, half in the garage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all the bass at Conway, and then vocals were about 50-50
Yeah.
too,
And then-
I'd say.
Well, Over and Over got re-recorded because
Yeah,
Over and
we
Over was
recorded Over and
actually
Over.
a lot cleaner sounding.
It's more sparkly.
Not a lot
yeah,
of
I remember you guys
distortion.
did that.
Not as gnarly.
Yeah.
Sparkly.
Yeah,
And we
I-
had like way more different
way
like
extra
layers
stuff.
of guitars.
There was like way more bells and way more
And
like
we just-
arpeggio guitars.
and so we just
guitar
took it all
parts.
out and
Yeah.
just put distorted
fuck it.
guitars.
I was
and
really
shit.
like,
Song needs
I
to
was
hit.
the jerk. I was
Yeah.
just like, I don't think we should put it out like this. It sounded great. It sounded great. It didn't sound bad.
Yeah.
No,
but
you're
it just sounded kind of different than like the rest of the album.
Yeah.
And kind of not really how we played it live. And so I was like, hey guys.
When it was a big jump in recording and sound too
Yeah.
from previous stuff, so it was like add those beginning stages. Like we were definitely still trying to figure out like how that
Yeah,
one
what
was
the
gonna
vibe
sound.
was gonna
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
And what exactly what the vibe was. And
Because I think, I mean, I said it a couple times, and I think we all ended up agreeing. Like, we kind of wanted it to sound like the most polished version of like a live sound as possible.
Yeah.
So even though there's like extra layers of like guitars and stuff, and like bells, things we can't play live,
sounds like a band playing.
we wanted it
Right.
to
Yeah.
sound like as much as like like four
Right.
and a half dudes in a room.
One really talented half guy.
Yeah,
Just
one half
in
guy
there.
who's just doing a
Yeah.
little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Nice. And who'd you make who was the guy, the producer? Or not producer, but engineer.
Ben Fletcher.
And,
Shout out
and
Ben
Sam.
Fletcher.
Yeah.
Shouts out
Yeah.
Ben.
Shout out to Ben. Shout
Very
out to Sam.
talented
Yeah,
engineer
Awesome.
cool dude.
Yeah.
Great shout out.
and mixer.
Go. Wait, were you going?
No.
Okay.
You.
I want to talk about songwriting real quick
Your
because
show.
I feel like
Hang
Aiden Memory, ladies and gentlemen. Aiden Memory, let me
Beach
ask you a
Freaks.
question. You're in Beach Freaks,
Yeah.
and
It was, yeah.
It's October.
It is October.
what month is it? No. So, how is it being in Sad Park relative to Beach Freaks? Is it
So
very-
much better. I'm gonna be completely honest.
You're dropping the truth bombs right now.
Stop!
Man.
Yeah.
Stop the recording! Stop the record. You know what else? Me saying October, people are gonna like people that don't know the dates. They're gonna think that like this was during when Beach Freaks was still a band. So they're
Sure.
gonna think that like this was all planned out. We were ready.
You want me to cut all this out?
You can do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
cut it, Chad.
It's your
Cut it
show.
out. Cut it out, Chad.
I'm gonna leave that in.
Yeah,
you should
do
leave
that.
it all
Do
in,
that.
Chad.
Do that.
But yeah, how's it like now playing in Sad Park? Was it tough to learn all the songs and like?
Yeah, the songs are kind of hard to learn a little bit. Like Graham just like sent me the album. He's like, figure it out. I was like, all right. So I just spent like probably like a week or two just like trying to learn like all the like chord
Hold the
progressions
mic up a
and
little
like
bit.
you learn it like like all like the lead parts like as
Yeah.
best I could. Like Sam and Graham had to help me out a lot.
Yeah.
Learning like some like the little things.
But I heard
And
you
I
learned
mean-
it pretty quick.
Yeah, well, also like it was the kind of thing where it had been so long since we had like recorded those parts or like
Right.
whatever that we had sent Aiden the album. He learned a lot of it, but then when he was like, "I don't know how to play this," we were like, "Oh, we'll send it to you." And it was like this whole moment for us too. We were like, "Oh yeah, like how do you do that?" Like
Yeah.
that's a weird part. Like because a lot of the album too, like we knew the songs, but a lot of the leads kind of not like solos, but like leads in the background and like parts like that kind of came in the recording process,
Yes.
like trying to fit in and like fill up space and like what does this verse
Right.
need. And so it was parts that were kind of like not on the fly but written in the moment, kind of.
Right.
So like
You almost
credit
forgot,
to
like, what you
Aiden
did.
because
We
it
had
was
to, like,
when we
orchestrate it on
revisited
the
it, we were
fly,
like,
yeah.
there is a lot of shit that Aiden needs to learn going back that we didn't really think about too much, and so
Yeah.
And there's a lot of
He's
shit that
killing it.
like that I played that's just like tucked in that like I never heard, and Sam's like, oh yeah, this is like playing throughout like the
Yep.
entire song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But Aiden did a good job. Aiden did the most. Aiden did the thing that we wanted every Sad Park guitar player to do, which was just hear the album and be like, learn it by ear, and he did.
Wow.
Yeah.
He completely.
Impressive.
I remember.
Yeah, dude.
Impressive.
And that's what we did with Sam. We straight up were like, learn it. And then he came and he did it. And then
Yeah.
I remember meeting up with Aiden and being like, we'll probably have to go through like a couple things. And he started playing the songs with me.
Nice.
So it worked out.
Amazing. Well,
Yeah.
bass is the hardest part of Sad Park, right?
Incorrect.
Absolutely. Absolutely the hardest part of Sad Park. Most skill put
outside
into
of
it.
percussion.
I mean, like, objectively, what I play in Sad Park is like not that hard, but those bass lines are like ripping.
They're like super
I
gnarly.
mean, the bass. All joking aside, the bass lines are ripping.
That's what it always has been.
Yeah.
Sad Park was cool for me to come into because as like what I would call myself as a guitar player, it is a pretty bass driven band and bass and
Yeah.
drum driven
Yeah,
band, and
super
so
rhythm
coming
section.
in, especially as a guitar player, where with the songs that were already written, it was part of the band that there is moving bass lines that carry a lot of the song.
Yeah.
That was super fun to come into and write that way.
Yeah.
Not just like
Yeah.
holding down the chords or whatever.
Yeah,
it was
right.
like being able to openly come into a new band, playing a new instrument, and like write really creatively.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it just
I mean,
works really well with how we write.
It was also
and-
nice because like I think it's super rhythm. Like the way I view Sad Park is like rhythm section holds it down, and then the guitars fill up the sound, and then Graham's vocals and that your melodies are just like boom, the star. But you and I have been playing in bands together for like fucking almost 10 years, like really.
pretty much.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Wow.
I
8 years,
met
think.
Grant just because a mutual friend introduced us because we
Yeah.
had been playing music.
Yeah.
And it was like, I know this guitar player.
But you
met
and
Grant,
I,
and that was just from
yeah,
playing
we've
music.
we've just like played music and written music together. So like, and you were always playing guitar in our other bands, so it wasn't quite that same like we are the groove kind of relationship that we have in Sad Park. And I enjoy that, anyways.
Yeah.
I enjoy looking at Sam and be like, I remember you when you were 15 years old, and now we're fucking playing music in a really cool band. This is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great too because I think all four of us are songwriters,
Mm-hmm.
and not that we're great singers, but we're all singers also. Or
Yeah.
like have sung on.
I sing when I
Recordings
write
before.
songs, and then I make Sam sing it later.
Yeah, we're all.
So I don't know. It's a cool dynamic, especially
Yeah.
having Aiden
Yeah,
who
it's
was
nice.
writing songs and a front man of a band is like.
Right.
It's a cool dynamic. I think to have four people
in
that
peace,
when we're
Beach
writing,
Vibe.
oh my God, that really like, it's a
Yeah,
cool dynamic.
for
It's
sure.
different than just people fucking around playing their instrument and doing their own thing.
I was gonna ask because since you guys all are such creative songwriters and such
Yeah.
good songwriters, what's a moment on the album that you're most proud of songwriting wise? Like, is there a bass line? Is there a drum line? Is there?
I know mine
Yeah.
personally, which was not scary, but like the risk that I wanted to take to see how this band would like evolve was doing It's All Over and looking at the band that we're a fucking punk band that always plays these songs and being like, what if nobody plays
Yeah.
for 3 minutes? And the band's like, what? And I'm like, no. Not quietly. What if no one plays at all? And the band waits. And I remember being like, if we can do that, that's going to be fucking awesome. And a cool evolution of being like, okay, we can peel
Yeah.
things back and not always have to be fucking playing the same shit all the time.
yeah.
I remember you bringing that to the band and being like, for like just the first verse and the first chorus.
Yeah.
And then I was like, if we're gonna do it, because I could tell
We're
that like you
doing it.
wanted it
Yeah.
to be that, but you were kind of like being like, oh, I was
Yeah.
like, let's just fucking do it. If we're gonna do
Yeah.
that,
Is
let's just do it.
that terrifying live? Because I've only seen it once, but are you like,
Yeah.
oh, like I know, guys, just wait,
Well,
wait.
that's
like,
the thing too. It's like
Yeah.
it's. I was worried to like convince the band that, but now there's the thing of like I gotta like convince the audience too.
Right.
that like we can do this.
Right.
It's gonna be a good song. Just trust that like this all works a certain way that we were trying to do.
And the payout is insane. Like, yeah, at the
good.
end when you guys are
pretty sweet.
screaming, yeah, it's just the best.
Yeah.
It was
Just
so
wait
scary.
for
And
that
back, ooh, when did we play our show? June?
July?
Like
June?
months
July?
ago.
Something-
That was
something
so
like
many
that.
months ago.
Dude,
So
forever ago.
long
Half
ago.
a year, bro.
That was scary. That was
Yeah.
scary because like we were playing really high energy shit, and then I was like, I hope these kids are cool. Waiting for 3 minutes of me just singing and playing guitar.
I think like, you know, we've talked about, I guess since the album's been out, because it's October, like the influences, the influences on the album, right? And like, I think I just have a very clear memory of being like, we were like, let's kind of like, we had just heard Cosmic Thrill Seekers. Do you remember this?
yeah.
We just heard Cosmic Thrill Seekers and we're like, let's try and write an album, or like, let's, you know, that's an interesting direction, kind of
Yeah.
take from that. And we were like, let's connect all these songs. It'll be cool, and kind of take inspiration from that. And then we realized that we were like, man, we really just like subconsciously just wanted to make Vacation by Bomb the
we
Music
just wanted
Industry.
to make Vacation by Bomb the Music Industry so badly.
And I think It's All Over like is the clearest, like that is a Vacation
Yeah.
song. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And that was interesting because it's like we all loved that album, but that wasn't like something that we were really talking
No,
about
it
until
just
like the album was
happened.
finished, and we were like, oh yeah. We just
Well, Vacation's like the overarching, like we're all into different music. We all have like
Yeah.
shit that we like, but Vacation is like the subtle thing that we're all
Oh, it's the best album.
inspired by.
It's the best album of all time.
So
Yeah.
it just happened
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that it turned out kind of following the same like form
Yeah.
as Vacation by Bomb the Music Industry,
What are you
which
gonna
is the
do?
best Bomb the Music.
It's the best
Industry.
album. It's the best album of
Subconsciously.
all time. I'll be real. If you haven't listened to Vacation by Bomb the Music Industry, listen to it right now. After this interview and the
Pause the video, just
Yeah.
turn it off. Listen to all 45 minutes,
45
minutes
something,
of it.
13 tracks.
I want to bring up,
Yeah.
because you said Cosmic Thrill Seekers, and
Yes.
you said the whole thing of like things flowing.
Yeah.
Grant still to this day does not remember this, and I bring it up to you all the time.
I don't remember a lot of things, so I'm
I
sure
was
this is true.
driving back from my friend's house, and I was listening to the back half
Oh, Worry.
of Worry
Yeah,
by
that's right.
Jeff Rosenstock, and I called Grant before anything happened. We thought we were going to do an EP instead of this album.
Yeah, that's true.
And calling Grant and being like, we should just have every song go into each other. And something happened, and it just never happened. But I still wanted it, and then Cosmic Thrill Seekers happened, and Grant was like, this is such a good idea. He was like, this is why bands don't do this
are you
anymore. And I
gonna
was
do?
like, you motherfucker, I wanted to do this a year ago.
It's like with Pup. He showed me like Pup a couple times, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then like a month later, I was like, dude, Pup,
Best
band
ever.
ever. They're the best. And you were like, yeah, I showed them to you like a month ago, and I was like, you don't get it, dude. They're the best.
You don't get it. Oh my god, that's awesome.
What are you gonna do?
This next song's called Sell Out.
1, 2, 3.
Wasting all my
I have so many things to ask you guys, but it's already getting late. But I'm just gonna keep asking questions, right?
Keep going.
We can. Editing is a great thing, Chad.
I just want this to be unedited.
Okay.
This is a beautiful conversation.
It's a good time, right?
Let's get into the. I don't want to bring that up. Let's
Bring
get
it up, baby. Bring it up. Bring
Let's
it
not
up.
bring.
So there's a certain. Okay, so you guys, this is the first time being on putting out vinyl.
Yes.
right?
Oh, you're talking
Yes.
about this?
And there's an insert.
Graham Steele didn't do his goddamn job.
So, for anybody who gets the vinyl,
You
this beautiful
motherfucker.
vinyl, this beautiful vinyl right here. There's an insert with all the lyrics, and there's one lyric mistake. It's in awake, and instead of groan,
And Grant
anxious,
didn't do his fucking
it's been
job.
anxious.
You
So
did
I just
not
want to
do-
fix that.
Oh, okay.
I found 5
so-
mistakes
no, let's
myself
talk about how
one day.
we-
I remember
Okay,
that, and we
yeah.
got through that. We
And-
fixed
and
a lot.
Okay, I spent.
I thought that
mean,
lyric was correct.
Realistically, it wasn't that much of my life, but it was like a continuous 4 or 5 hours in the morning, just formatting it, getting it looking good, typing all the lyrics, putting like punctuation in.
Yeah.
It was sweet. And then I sent
did
it.
great. You
I
did a
sent
great
it to
job.
everyone, and I was like, "Here are the lyrics. This is what it's looking like.
Yeah.
Check them."
Yeah.
And Sam was like, "We got 5 mistakes." You were like,
Zero.
awake. We went back and forth on that lyric too.
0 on
I
my
thought it was
end.
100% correct until Graham was like, "That's not what I say."
Well, hold on. Let's get to that later. Let's get to that later.
Yeah,
When the
because
reveal happened.
because what happened was I was like, "Here it is. Is everyone good?" And you sent back, "Looks fine."
Yeah, I liked the way it was formatted.
Yeah,
The square looked
Did
really
you not
good.
read any?
He absolutely did not read it.
Chad,
Absolutely did not read it.
don't act like you don't work with us all the time.
Did not read. Did not do
I
his job.
looked at it and I was like,
Looks
"It's
good.
a lot of words. Those are my lyrics.
Looks good.
How bad could it be off?"
Yeah, it was
One word apparently.
That's
And
great.
then-
99.7%. That's an A+ baby.
And then we shot the music video
Mm-hmm.
for Awake.
For Awake.
And
After
at-
vinyl had been sent for months.
And then at some point, Johnny was like, "Let's all just say the line. Everybody say the line."
Yeah.
And then Sam, it was so fucking funny to me. I'm such a stubborn motherfucker. I will take shit to the grave. And so
Easy to work with.
Sam like just casually was like, "Yeah, guys, the lyric is I've grown anxious." And I was like, "Pff, you fucking idiot." I was like, "That's
Yeah.
not the line."
Yeah. With the adamancy of like the world's biggest dick. Like, how could you possibly think it's grown?
Yeah.
What universe exists where you could hear the
And we
vague
got
syllable that
into
you say,
it,
and I
everyone was like, "It's grown," and I was like, "I wrote it."
and I said, I don't know what to tell you. That's what's on the vinyl.
And I was like,
now."
"No, it's not."
And I said, I asked you if it looked good, and you said yes.
Horseshit.
And then you said, I didn't read it. And then I, after the take was over, left the place.
That was
Because
that
I
was
was so mad. I was like, I'm going to yell.
that was the
I
first
can't
time
do
I've
that.
seen you be like legitimately pissed off, where you're like,
Yeah.
I have to leave. For a
Yeah.
little
Well,
bit.
like, I mean, you know, all joking aside of like, oh, you know, like Graham and I will get into it sometimes. It's never usually like we're mad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I was
Maybe
just
if we
like,
had Grammarly to check some mistakes. Maybe
Well-
our lyrics were a little bit too wordy.
It was a long day.
Am I
It
allowed
was
to
a
give
long
a
day.
shout out to Grammarly in this video? You better get a sponsorship
Thanks for
by
our sponsor,
October.
Grammarly.
in October. Well, all that to bring up this, which is what I wanted to bring
Yeah.
up, unless you have something else to
I
say.
don't have
Okay.
anything to say.
I'm
When
over
when
it.
have I ever been verbose ever, Chad?
Which is shout out to Lauren Records, because you guys put out the album with Lauren Records.
Yeah.
What was the experience like compared to Sleep, where it was a complete self-release, and now you have a team? You have me and Jamie and Johnny doing videos, and Aaron and Avery and the whole crew, Robert. How is it like different? How do you guys feel about putting this, working
good.
this album relative to?
It's yeah, Graham, go.
It
What'd you
was
think?
cool not being in like the Sad Park bubble of
Yeah.
just being like, "It sounds great. Let's show it to our fucking homies." And then our homies were like, "Sounds good. What am I going to say about it?" And like actually showing it to people like Aaron and like Shayna and people like that, and them legitimately just being like, "I like this and I believe in this."
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing to me.
It is still, I mean, I'm sure I have my own issues that this will be revealing of, but I was still just like, there's no way they like this album.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no way they like hear this and are like, we could put this in like, you know, record stores and people will buy this and we'll like
Yeah.
do things for this band. It's insane. The fact that Jamie did our PR is still like insane to me.
Yeah.
You know, like she did Jeff's PR and like,
Yeah.
as you can tell, we're huge Jeff Rosenstock fans. So
No.
that was just like,
What?
Shout out to Jamie Coletta. No
yeah.
earbuds.
Shout out to Jamie.
Shout out
What
to
up?
Jamie. Go ahead.
It was mind blowing. And then like having you, honestly, like that's the biggest thing. And I mean this seriously. Having a manager is like, it just beyond the amazing work that you do. Whenever someone is like, we have a manager, people are like, oh shit.
Oh.
Like going to my family and being like, you know, yeah, I'm taking some time off school, do this band thing. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, well, my manager thought it would be a good idea. And they're like, shit, you got a manager?
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, legitimately, it's so nice to just be like doing our thing, like worrying about the music. And then you'll just be like, all right, boys, quick update. 30 things have happened. You need to do these 4 things. And then we're all just like tight.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, my
been
homies get
great.
really pissed because I call them every single day to be like, we're on Lauren Records now. And they're like, dope. And I'm like, we got Jamie. And they're like, cool, you're going to keep doing this, huh? It hasn't stopped yet.
I know.
time.
And yeah, and Rough Trade Publishing and Shayna and just
Yeah.
a bunch
All these
of people.
people.
Shout out to
Oh,
everyone.
shout out to Shayna, dude.
Shout out to
Shout out.
Shayna's
fucking
yes.
love you, Shayna.
Shout out to Shayna.
I was
Shayna.
going to say something, but I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Shout out to Chad, dude. Chad
Thanks,
really
man.
did
Oh!
like everything for us.
That's what I
Thanks,
was going to
bro.
talk about.
Shout out to
I was
Chad?
going to talk about Chad on Chad.
Chad's home.
Because we can do that because you're our manager.
This is
And
true.
You being our manager was like I think we can all agree that when Chad became our manager, we finally hit a point. Before we had Chad, talking about the band was like weird.
Yeah.
Talking about like we're good at playing music was a weird thing that we did not do. Never talked about us being good or anything. And then we got you after that West Covina show, and I remember me and Sam had a whole fucking drive back, and we're just like, it was the first time ever in the entire time of us being a band where we were like, someone believes in us. And then we were like, that's weird. And then so me and Sam, like the rest of the drive, were like, we're a good band. We're a good band that writes good music.
Yeah.
And then finally, like now we're at a point of like, not in like a fucking shitty way of being like other bands suck, but just being like, love your fucking band and back the shit that you write. And it's dope to be playing the music we play and be like, this is good. We play good music.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So it was awesome. That was like the beginning of like maturing as a band and being like, wow, someone heard our music and was like, you guys are sick. I'll manage you.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
That was pretty rad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to me.
Shout out to
Hey,
Chad.
shout out to Chad, dude.
Chad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad, please.
Sam.
Chad's our guardian angel.
This
No
is true.
joke.
This is true.
And our mother.
Band
Mother
mom.
Thanks,
Guardian.
buddy. I mean, so speaking of that, one of the most exciting things, and we'll probably end on this, even though I have a lot of stuff to ask you.
Keep
but
asking.
It's getting late.
No, Chad.
All right. Well, this is going to be the longest episode we've
That's
done, which is
fine.
great.
That's fine.
I'm excited about it.
I almost
Uh,
said we're the longest band.
No, so the like talking about calling people, and like we obviously have a lot of calls as a band
Yeah.
working together. The craziest thing that's happened so far, personally for me, that I was the most excited about was the run that you guys got with Together Pangea.
It
And
was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It was awesome.
It was so much fun.
Perfect shows
I
every
mean,
single night.
Perfect nights. They haven't played them yet, but
It's October, Chad. We played them a month ago, buddy. I don't know what's going
Chad,
on
are
with you.
okay?
Yeah, Chad. Get your
I-
shit together, Chad.
I remember the day that email came in that was going to happen. We were already on the phone
Talking about fonts.
talking about fonts.
Fonts.
Yeah. And then literally I was like,
Fonts.
wait a second, guys. Like, I just got this email. And yeah, that was the craziest thing ever. And you literally have it together, Pangea tattoo.
You
on
motherfucker.
your arm. And it was just the coolest thing because they're, I mean, we all love that band to death. They're playing November
Yeah.
20th. Tickets are probably sold out, but that's gonna be rad. And then
Is
go
that in
see
shot?
them at the Troubadour. That might be sold out
Did
too.
we already play?
But
No, we haven't played that
the
one.
Troubadour's like in a couple weeks. Go see them
Is
with
it?
Sad
It's
Park.
vaguely in
Yeah.
October.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
So yeah,
current
it's
month
just
that we're in.
it's just sick that this band that like you guys used to love, or you still love,
Still
but like used to, that you used to like, yeah.
They're okay after the tour.
Dude.
You're right. We don't love them
Yeah.
anymore.
You're
It's
now
crazy.
like playing with them. You
Seeing
know?
them from the side of the stage, totally different experience, Chad.
Yeah.
But yeah, like talk
Yeah.
about.
Honestly, that too, and just like what we've been doing as a band, like even for me personally, it was a similar feeling with Lauren Records. Like
Yeah.
growing up, it was like playing in bands in high school and doing whatever you can, playing random backyards and whatever. It was like Lauren Records was like huge to me growing up. Pangea was huge. Like up there with reasons like why I personally wanted to be in a band.
Yeah.
It was like seeing Pangea every like 2 weeks or whatever, just like playing in LA. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
when they were doing that, and like bands that Lauren Records was putting out, and then it's crazy to think about now.
Yeah.
Like it's
Now
been a
you're
long
here.
time
Yeah.
since like those days of like thinking about stuff like that in high school or whatever, but like it's crazy. It's been a
Yeah.
long time coming, but like looking back, it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
It's amazing.
Pretty bananas,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
You nervous?
Pretty nuts.
Are you
No.
nervous to play, Aiden? You good? Okay.
Yeah,
Brand
Aiden,
new.
are you nervous, buddy?
I'm a wreck, dude.
Who's the
Man.
biggest jerk?
yeah.
Me. It's me. It's
Yeah.
me. It is me.
I'm the biggest dick about musical things. Absolutely.
I'm just, in general, we'll be practicing, and I'm just like, doesn't sound good today.
The vibes
They're
are-
like, what can we do?
I remember.
What can we do?
I remember. We played a song. I forget which one it was, but it was awesome. And it was like, you know, maybe like, let's say June 2nd, we play the song. And we're like, dude, we wrote the song. It's sweet. Graham's like raving about this song. We'll play it a month later. And yeah, I think you were just having like a bad day or something.
Yeah.
And you were just like, I fucking hate this song. And we were like, I think maybe you're just having a bad day and because you're kind of stubborn. You
Oh,
were
I'm like, no,
No, I have
it
always
sucks."
hated this song. I have always hated this song. And we're just standing there
Yeah.
like,
It's a wonder that
sure you-
It's All Over became a thing, because shit like that happened.
here's the thing. I love you.
Thanks, I love you
But
too.
Waiting on the butt. Was waiting on the
no,
butt.
I mean, I don't know. You and I get into it the most.
Yes.
Because we have very similar personalities.
Yes.
But it's like, we're like brothers, you know? We fight,
We're like brothers.
make up, little kiss on the forehead,
We're like brothers.
you know?
We're just a couple brothers.
Just a couple brothers. Just
Yeah.
hanging out,
There
being
we go.
brothers. And then Sam is just kind of in the corner like, God damn it.
Yeah. That was the
I don't.
biggest.
It always has amazed me how you two will like when we're like writing a song or something and like trying to figure out like
Mhm.
what's this part gonna be, what should the feel be. Like I have never been able to like. I can like if something feels right, I'm like this is it. Like this is like what we need to go for when we're writing a song. But it amazes me how you two can come to such like intense opinions so quickly. And like it's honestly it like works as a great dynamic because it takes me like we're writing the song and then it takes like listening to it and like I have to like reflect on it to like get to that place where I'm like no, this is what it needs to be. And it always amazes me how you two in the writing process is like
Yeah.
it gets like so pinned on like
It-
other ends
it
so
does.
quickly and I'm always like how the fuck are you guys like so
Well-
mad about
well,
this right
we-
now?
it's
Like,
not
let's
a
just-
verse, it's a bridge.
yeah.
we reflect on it too, or at least I do, because I'll be like, this is how I am with everything, and they can attest to this. Anytime new information enters my life, my like first
No.
reaction is almost always just like, no. No. And then 5 minutes later, it is either like, you know what, that's a good idea, or more often than not, it is like, I really don't care. Like, this is not a big issue at all. And I'm just like, no. I'm sure now, and then you always get like, hey guys, sorry, shouldn't have acted like that. It's fine. We can do whatever. It's all good.
The
That's
biggest
good.
thing with Aiden joining the band was I was like, I can't wait for the first time that he sees me and Grant. Just argue. The song doesn't change. Just argue whether it's
Yeah.
a bridge or a verse. The song stays the same. It's just the fucking word we call it, and we're yelling at each other.
Yeah.
I think
Pretty
more
good.
And
often
Aiden's
than not.
laughing in the corner, but I'm me, so Aiden's laughing, and I just want to be like, what?
Well, dude, like more often than not, you guys are saying like usually like
The same thing!
exact thing.
Except that I am
but it's
using
like I want to word it like this.
actual
Like, yeah.
words like eighth notes and 16th notes, and like the reason why music theory was invented so people can communicate clearly.
And I'm like, fast.
yeah, and I'm like, hey, it can't be faster because it's the tempo that it's at.
But what if you do that thing where you use both hands?
I'm like 16th notes, and you're like, sure. I was so proud of you the other day though. When you were doing that new song,
Quarter notes.
I was like, what part? Because I changed the groove, and he was like, I don't like that, and I was like, what part don't you like? And then you were like, and then I was like, I just need to know, and you were like, I think I want it to be quarter notes, and I was like, excellent.
Nice.
And then I played it like that, and you were like,
So
I like
Yes.
that, and it was great, and I was really happy.
that's great. So the cash-in video is kind of like real life in a sense.
Yeah,
Is the cash-in video out?
Yes.
cash and
It's-
videos out.
Yeah, obviously.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's kind of a real life thing. I feel like you guys have always been on your best behavior around me because I've never seen anybody fight.
Well, it's like I don't know.
We don't wanna embar- but you're also like, you're backing us. Do we really want to like? Do we really want to do that to the dude that's like, I'm believing in this band right now?
We're just like we're just brothers,
yeah,
I
there we
told
go.
you, we're just fucking brothers.
There we go.
I just bros.
Well, we should start playing some music. It's already 8 o'clock. But let me just finish with one last thing. One quick shout out to Johnny. I wanted to talk about the music videos. We don't really have a lot of time. So the music videos were awesome. Johnny killed it. Awake behind the scenes was rough because in that pool scene took a really long time, and it was poor Graham was very cold. But amazing acting from all you guys.
Yeah.
So shout out to the music videos. Does anybody want to say a quick word on the music videos?
I remember when I had to
You're gonna
lift
say
Graham.
shout out.
I had to lift Graham out of the pool,
Oh,
and I was like, I did not know that I had to do this. I am like Graham is heavier than I thought he
Yeah.
would be, and
also
I gotta
soaked.
walk up these
Yeah, he's,
stairs,
like, soaked in
and I got like
clothes.
tiny little spindly legs, and I'm just like, and then I tripped one time, and it was like, this is gonna be the last one, and I tripped, and I yelled "fuck"
Yeah, you did.
so loud. There
It
were
was-
like children playing
it was
next
in
door.
Sam's backyard.
It was the loudest I've ever yelled
Yeah.
anything.
Yep.
At like 5 o'clock in the
Oh
afternoon.
yeah. Oh
That was funny.
That was a long weekend.
Very
Yeah.
long weekend.
I want to say I have like extreme, not fun, like motion sickness. Like I'll spin in a fucking chair 2 times and be like, I gotta sit down.
Uh-huh.
Like it's not fun. So being like laying in water with your eyes closed and your body's just like doing that, I was like, I'm gonna die. I want to die. I want to die. I hope there's a photo of me when I'm wrapped up in a towel, freezing cold, getting ready to shoot again. Or they're
Yeah.
like, that was it, we're good, and I'm just
Yeah.
like this, ready to sleep, and then Johnny's like, I'm like falling asleep, and Johnny's like, I think we got to do one more. And I remember just being like, fuck this band. Fuck this band. I'm done. I hate music.
Yeah. That was the most worried I think I've ever been about any of you guys.
Oh my God, yeah,
'Cause
you were like, "You okay, buddy?
Yeah, I was like, dude,
You
you
all
all
right?"
right? Like, should we just stop? Like, what's going? Like, you okay? But you powered through it. Everybody did. And then the very next day, we recorded Nothing Ever, which was insane. Yeah, great videos. Johnny is an amazing
We're
director.
professional.
Shout out
Yeah.
Johnny.
Shout out
Johnny.
If nothing else, we're professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one thing that comes to mind when you think Sad Park. It's professionalism.
Are we gonna
Yeah,
end it?
camera
Can I
one
do
on
more
me?
shout out?
I
Professionalism.
wanted to ask one.
I don't know
quick-
what's on chat.
Very last thing. Very last thing is why don't you like In My Head, Grant? Because that song fucking rips, and I know it's your biggest song. but
Hear me out.
it's amazing,
Sam, you can attest
and it
to this.
deserves everything.
Before I was in the band, I loved In My Head.
Loved it.
I was like, In My Head's the best song.
Sad Park song.
I think maybe You Said was like I loved
Yeah.
You Said.
Which,
and then
by the way, people watching this, because now we're a little bit further, listen to a
Slept
song we
on.
have called You Said.
'Cause
It's on
it's-
our second EP, and it's
it's
fucking
so good.
great.
It's legitimately one of my favorite songs
And
to
it's
play
like our
live.
second
Yeah.
to last
Yeah.
listened to song
Come
ever.
on, fans. What have you done for us?
Nothing!
I'm kidding. No, In My Head's great. I love it. I just like, I don't know. I think the direction that we kind of went with this album is like very different from like the sound that In My Head has.
Yes.
And I think selfishly, I don't like that song because I don't want to be I don't want the band to be put in like a box of like we sound like the band who makes You Said. You know what I mean? I as a drummer sound like the dude who drums on You Said in my head. Sorry. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, yeah.
It's fine. I'm glad that people love it. You know, I'm incredibly grateful, as I'm sure we all are, to anyone who listens to any of our songs ever. Even if you hate it, if you listen to it enough to not like it, thank you. I don't know. I just want to keep writing bigger and better music, and
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's
and
fair.
I want
Yeah.
people to appreciate that as much as they appreciate, you know, in my
in
head.
my head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
The algorithm giveth.
The algorithm giveth, and the algorithm taketh away.
God
Yes.
bless the algorithm.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah.
It's probably at 1 million streams by now.
Probably.
In October.
What if it's not?
I don't think it will be.
What if it hits 1 million, and then as soon as this episode comes out, everyone's like, you know what? It's had its time.
What if you said
What if
right
you
after this episode we see a big spike?
The You Said
Can
challenge.
we do that?
the You Said challenge?
I mean, we have a new album. Why are we
Yeah,
pushing
we're
You
pushing
Said
You
when there's a
Said.
new album?
Yeah, go
Yo,
listen to the
listen
album.
to
Slippery
Looking Back.
Snake.
Listen to Looking Back, you know? Really even split on the writing of that song, so get those numbers up, please.
Track 12, right? Or no,
Track 11?
Track 11.
95.7%, baby.
let's end with some shout outs, some last things to say, and then we'll get into some music. So if anybody has, I know what you're about to talk
Just
about.
no, hold on.
Where's
Just
the-
let
where's-
the other
where's the
guys do
flag?
it. It's over there. You can get it if you want, Robert. Just let everyone else shout someone out.
Yeah. Well, first of all, was there anything that we didn't cover in this great podcast that you guys wanted to mention?
Podcast.
That
I don't really
we
know. I remember this. I'll tell you this.
okay.
You are one of the biggest reasons why I decided not to go to grad school to do
Yeah,
Sad Park.
That's a good
Yeah.
thing to talk about. Sad Park was almost not
Yeah,
who
that's
we
true.
are right now.
Part of it's all over was also like you had said like because I was going to go to Boston for graduate school.
Oh yeah, we
and
never
it was
talked about what like
and it was like
the albums.
that was part of it like
technically.
you thought it was going to be it. Like this is going to be the last
Yeah,
Sad Park album.
part of the reason, like one of the names of It's All Over was like, I was gonna break up the band.
When I
'Cause
had-
Grant,
when I was
we would have
leaving.
finished the album way earlier, and Grant would have gone off to
Yeah.
Boston. We would have played the record release show and broke up.
Wow.
And
That's
then-
what my plan was.
And then
Sad Park.
yeah.
Wow.
And
mean-
now we're here in October.
Well, and I deferred a year because I was like I was injured and a lot of things, and I was like stuck around, finished the album, and then like in January or something, I had like a breakdown, as you guys know.
yes.
I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and you were like, you told me on the phone the first time, you were like, honestly, you should probably go to Boston. Like, I don't want to be the guy who tells you not to go. And this was before we had signed with Lauren.
What did you do?
This is before a
This
lot of
was
stuff
very,
had
very
started
early.
happening.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we signed with Lauren, and we got Jamie. That was a big one. And we announced like the Lauren record thing, and like I shouldn't over and over. And I called you again, and you were like, you should not go, and you
Yeah.
should stay. And then I talked to a bunch of people, and then we had a long heart-to-heart one night. And it was great. And I'm happy with the decision because you guys are my best friends, and I love you.
Good. I love that. I'm glad.
That was great.
That was all to Aiden.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember those conversations because I do remember the first time it was like, man, I don't want to tell this freaking kid to like give up on this amazing opportunity just for this band that like might work. But then when it was like, oh, there's so much good energy in the air around Sad Park. There's so many things happening. There's conversations happening. The feedback was great. I was like, don't leave. Like this
Yeah.
is
I
like
mean,
a
it
once
was-
in a lifetime.
It's hard to
like,
see like
Yeah.
playing in the band, and I think it speaks a lot to the team we have, where it's like it is so nice having people working with us that not only are just like representing us, but are people that are like, I like really like your guys' music and believe that you can
Yeah.
do like what you want to do with this band. But it's hard when you don't have that. And so I remember a lot of our talks was you'd been in the band longer than me.
Yeah.
But so I guess I always had a little more perspective maybe of like from seeing Sad Park in
Yeah.
that small time where you guys were in before I joined.
Yeah.
And having to like not convince you, but be like,
Well, it's
there's something worth
Yeah,
really
and it's-
exploring, and like
Yeah.
and I think you'll regret not
Yeah.
giving it a chance.
Well,
and that's
also,
what it came down to.
It's
I
hard,
think.
like, you know, like if you're not doing Sad Park, Graham, are you like, you know, what are you doing? Like working at Trader Joe's,
Nothing.
writing other music. Sam, it was like it was easy for me, it was such a privilege that I could like, as hard as a decision as it was, like if I did decide to go to Boston and not being, it's not like I was giving up on music. Do you know what I mean?
Right. That's what was so tough.
And so, well, but I mean, like in some ways, it was kind of like fucking you guys over, kind of. Do you know what I mean? Where it'd be like, oh, if I dipped and you guys have to find a new drummer, it's like, well, you know, I can still just. It would borderline been a selfish decision. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
We would have a hardcore drummer.
Yeah, you were Josh.
Hold on, that's coming.
Oh yeah.
Shout out's coming in a
We'll
moment.
get there. So, anyways, yeah, I just
Yeah.
want to say thank you to you, and
Oh man.
I love you guys, and it's a good time. Wow. And honestly, my professor at Boston University, who I was taking lessons with, like when I called him, I thought he was gonna be like, Grant, you suck. How could you do this? And he was like, dude, like you should just do that, and like if you want to come back, you know, it's not like the building's gonna go away in
Yeah.
10 years.
Life is long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
and I was like,
Don't give
everyone-
up things when you have a
Everyone had
chance.
told me that, and I was like, nuh-uh, he's
Yeah.
gonna hate me.
This is gonna look really funny because in October, all of Boston University is just not. It's just not gonna be there.
exploded.
They
They
lost
just
all their
quit.
funding.
They just quit.
They lost all their funding. All of it.
Yeah.
Not
What are you
gonna be
gonna
a
do?
thing
Glad
anymore.
you stayed, buddy. I'm glad you're here.
I hope nothing bad happens in Boston in October.
I'll cut this out for sure.
We're gonna get like this is gonna come out like October 15th and October 14th, like horrible earthquake, tidal wave hits. Everyone's gonna be like,
Knock,
what?
Knock on some wood, huh?
Is that real
There
wood?
we go. It's fake.
Oh, sorry, Boston.
Ah.
Great
All
way to
right,
end.
all right, you
let's
know-
get out of here. Let's play some music. But shout outs.
Shout out.
Shout outs.
Boys, help me. Hold this. Shout out Cell Damage. If you're not listening to listen to them more than our fucking record. Fuck, it's all over. Listen to Cell Damage. They're the best band ever. If you like hardcore, listen.
What an
That's all.
accurate depiction of our band than the scene that just unfolded.
Wait, are you guys all good? No shout outs? Anything else you want to chat about? I still have one
I
more
just want to shout out
No,
everyone that
we're
really.
gonna continue.
I just have to do a couple shout outs. We have some shout outs.
Shout out everyone that's been working with us and
Yeah.
believes in us and has really like we would not be anywhere close to doing what we're doing without Chad,
Yeah.
you first and foremost, and then everyone else
Everybody.
that's come after that working with us.
Yeah, big
Crazy.
shouts out.
Shout
Thank you.
out
Oh, yeah.
Jay Richardson from
Yes.
Yamaha Guitars for hooking
Yes.
us up with the Yamaha that we're playing on today. So,
Amazing.
Love
Yeah.
you, Jay.
Shout out to Jay.
What are you gonna do? Who are you shouting out?
Uh, no, shout out to you guys for like inviting me into the band.
This is a
and
good
playing
ending.
with you guys. I'm really excited, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I want to say that Aiden joining the band was like a
was
straight
awesome.
up like blessing.
I'll
Yeah,
be real.
like,
real
Aiden
talk.
joining the band was a slam dunk, dude.
it was. We didn't know what we were gonna
have
do,
a guitar
man.
player, and we
Yeah.
were like, "Let's hope this works." And then I reconnected with a friend, and we were going on a walk, and he was like, we were talking about like bands, and he was just like, "Yeah, Beach Freaks broke up," and I was like, "Psh, "Sucks." And then just kept walking, just kept being on the walk, and then I started talking about how we need a guitar player, and still wasn't making the connection until later. And then I was like, Aiden's good at guitar. And then we got him.
Yeah.
So that's
Aiden's
how
been the
that worked
best. He's
out.
been awesome. Good job.
Too bad in October, Aiden's
Yeah.
not going to be in the band anymore.
Do you have a shout out?
Yeah, shouts out to the fans. Shouts out to everyone who supports us.
This is wholesome.
talk.
We love
We're
you.
never
This
this
So
wholesome.
beautiful.
It's really good.
Beautiful.
And no shout out to trigonometry.
There we go.
Get fucked triangles.
Yeah.
Go to a live show and you'll know why.
Yeah.
A couple shout outs from my end, real quick. Thank you, DC Shoes, because you have kept us alive for 75 plus episodes, and you're the best. Topo Chico mineral water, best mineral water in the game. And Phil's Coffee sent over some coffee, and these guys had some cold brew earlier, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So shout out to you three for being a part of the series and believing in it. And shout out to Sad Park, because I love you guys so much.
Thank you, Chad.
Love
Thank
you, Chad.
And shout out to Cell Damage, fine.
Shout out Cell Damage.
Shout out to Cell Damage. You guys are the best. Let's get into some music. Thanks for joining.
We got to clean up this water.
Love y'all. Peace.
Bye.
This next song's called Cash In. Do you want me to be dream. I guess not. I guess not. You can take it from me. It's always harder to be what you want, not who you'll be. I just stood there, watched it fade away. Everybody screaming, who's up there? I just think I need to be alone for a while. It's all too much right now.
Hey, what's up? Just letting you know we are now on Patreon. Sign up for exclusive performance videos. You get the episodes early and a bunch of other cool stuff. The link is in the description. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much.